live. Welcome everybody to the third episode of Kerb's Corner. Today I'm joined by one of my good friends, Luke. He's our JoJo rep for today. For our JoJo themed episode, we have two battles, highly requested JoJo characters that you guys have asked for. So today me and Luke are going to tackle them. Say hi, Luke.
Hello everybody.
And how you been doing lately, my friend?
I've been doing great.
How's the weather over there? It sounds windy.
It is. Annoyingly so.
So, for our first battle that we're gonna go over today, we're gonna go over one that's coming up right after the one that I just previewed in my latest episode, Reinhardt versus Mr. Incredible. It's coming in two battles, so we're gonna go over it right now. We're gonna go over Diavolo versus Crollo Lucifer from the Hunter x Hunter series. So these two were actually probably a match made in heaven. These are two of the most notorious anime gangsters of all time so far. So, I don't know too much about Diavolo, and for one of my favorite animes, which is Hunter x Hunter, I still know somewhat little about Diavolo, but we're gonna go ahead and try to figure out who would be a winner. So, luckily, I have Luke here, who's our JoJo rep, and so he's gonna go ahead and give us a little rundown about Diavolo. So, go ahead, Luke, the floor is yours.
Okay. As with a lot of the strongest JoJo characters, Diavolo's abilities are kind of shrouded in mystery, so to speak. For a lot of the anime, you're kind of piecing it together, and the best way he describes it himself is erasing time. But he also has a sub-ability which allows him to see 10 seconds into the future. So, per example, if you're going to punch Diavolo in the face, first he uses his sub-ability, Epitaph. He sees everything you're going to do. He sees you step forward, block the punch, and throw it right at his face.
Okay.
Then he erases time, which essentially means you lose all memory of you doing this, but it still happened. He just gains the ability to stand up and move away from the punch without you realizing what just happened. So now you're halfway through the punch, you don't know where he is, you have no memory of doing it, and he's standing behind you about to punch you in the back of the face.
Okay, so is this like a form of, this is a really intricate form of time manipulation then, huh?
Exactly. It's not something simple like time stop and then you just teleport behind you.
Right, so it's not like The World or Star Platinum, just simply freezing time.
No, it's got a lot of nuances that he has to implement in specific ways.
Okay, so is there like a specific way to counterattack this?
There was never one shown in the anime. The only way the main character of the current arc, Giordano Giovanna, was able to counter it was just by getting the perfect ability and was getting the exact opposite. Another definition of his ability was to erase the cause but leave the effect, like you never punched and yet you're still halfway in the position. Giordano Giovanna was just given the ability to just erase the effect. So it's almost like neither of them happened, and their abilities kind of canceled out.
That's a pretty OP ability. You can do a lot of crazy shit with that.
Oh yeah, and then just the little icing on the cake was he was just given the ability to send you into an infinite death loop. I
remember that I likened that when I was going over that with a couple people. I likened it to Darkseid from DC Comics with the Omega effect that he can trap you in, where you just relive an infinite amount of deaths and each one gets worse than the other.
Oh yeah. And supposedly they're all based off your own nightmares, which kind of makes it a lot worse, because all your inner fears just manifest.
Ooh, okay.
Which just adds to the torture. Which
yeah, that's just the insult to injury right there, huh?
Exactly.
Okay, so, I know a lot of people are likening that Giorno can solo all of fiction. Now, obviously, us intellectuals, we know that's not entirely true, but for the most part, anyone without hacks, you could, solo all of brawler fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
he was definitely known as the most OP character of an OP anime.
Yeah, JoJo is actually kind of slept on in this day and age in terms of power. More people think that, just simple characters like Goku and Naruto and Monkey D. Luffy, everybody from the big three, even Ichigo and Aizen, they just kind of go ahead and assume stuff like, oh yeah, well it's just because they have higher powers, they can just go ahead and erase all of JoJo, am I right? But as we can tell, there's a lot of ability instead of physical strength power that goes into this. And that rule kind of applies to our boy Diavolo here, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so that's very interesting. So, one thing that I know about stands is physically, their physical, power isn't, anything that isn't obtainable. It's, in, the building levels of power.
Yeah, they've got a grading scale. Diavolo, like a lot of the main JoJo's, has a high grade. Like, before I said Josuke, he's on B level. Star Platinum and Zawoldo, like you said, are on A level.
Okay.
And, let's see, Star Platinum, as the highest strength, his biggest feat was, I think, destroying a building.
And then throwing
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So that so far has been the strongest bit of A.
That was from the OVA, huh?
That was part of the OVA. And
it was very fucking weird.
But that was technically a canonical feat of Star Platinum with his A strength.
Because I know they're definitely stronger than any person. Like, they're in very good strength condition. It's just when it comes to, like, their destructive potential, it's nothing that you can't really see in any other anime. Like, where they mostly shine is their hacks and abilities, and that's really what Diavolo has right here. So, Diavolo, in terms of, like, physical strength, he's, like, somewhere in there along, like, the small building levels from what I know. But,
yeah, that's accurate.
But the funny thing is, him, reactionary, even, Diavolo himself, plus his stand, what is it, King Crimson? They both, in terms of combat and reaction, scale to faster than light, which is actually really impressive. Being as this is going to be a bit of a challenge for our boy Krollo here. So they scale them massively faster than light, and paired with this crazy, insane ability, I feel like Krollo has a bit of a challenge here. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fair. Diavolo was only able to reach the speed of light kind of like a cheaty way. Because he's able to see 10 seconds in the future, so he'll know where everything is. And then he erases time to be in the perfect place at the perfect moment.
Okay.
So what would seem like him stopping a bullet with the speed of light is him just knowing the exact second the bullet's going to be in the perfect spot. And then him getting in the perfect position to catch it.
I know most of the scaling here comes from when Silver Chariot intercepted, what was it, the Hangman?
Yeah.
Who was reflecting himself from light, though. And so pretty much all of the further stands were scaling to that.
Yeah, but again, he used the same way I taught. It was hack. He was able to kick sand in the eye, and then he flipped the coin in the air, so that he made the perfect mandatory projection.
Okay.
So again, he just knew exactly where Hangman was going to teleport to.
And I also know
teleport
in one of the guides, which I have actually been able to hold my hands in just a few seconds ago. One of the guides says that Star Platinum is explicitly stated to be light speed.
That's pretty accurate.
So yeah, Star Platinum by himself explicitly stated to be light speed. That's pretty impressive here. So on a lot of the further stands from like 4, 5, and even 6 scale to even that. I don't know too much about Part 7 or anything past that. I don't even know if there's anything after Part 7. I've had a lot of the show spoiled for me by choice though, because like I wasn't too big into the show. I wanted to watch it so I could understand, and I'm watching it now. I like it. I really like it a lot. I like that I can finally
That's another conversation.
I know. I should have listened to you like back in November, and like here I am starting it like 5 months later. So there's that. They do have light speed capabilities. He's no exception, even with his ability that can see into the future. So he's there's a lot of interesting things that he can do with that. So we have, for like physical strength, be it he's no pushover, we're looking at like the physical ability to like destroy buildings, and we're looking at like speed reactionary to intercept light speed attacks. Okay. So for durability, I don't know anything that Diavolo could tank or King Crimson. What do you know about that?
That he can tank?
Yeah, like what can he endure? What's his endurance?
It's kind of hard to tell. The only time Diavolo has ever been in a fight, it's never been one-on-one, giving punches, receiving punches like you'd expect from like 2 brawling type stands.
Yeah.
He's always had some kind of advantage. He's always been hidden, or his stand ability was at the time like unknown and still a mystery. So he's never fought one-on-one. He's always snuck behind and backstabbed you.
Okay.
The one time he was shown to really take a head-on punch, he was pretty much killed. And the other time, he always had some kind of secret ploy, or even one time he took the punch and suffered no damage because he expected it and used it to launch him.
Okay.
So the only time I've ever seen him take a punch that was unexpected and unplanned, he pretty much fell to his knees.
Okay. Okay. So he himself, not too strong and like tanky. But what about his stand? Like, is his stand taking punches or anything?
Well, in JoJo, it's always just understood that they always have the ability to summon their stand in front of them.
Okay.
And that's what I'm talking about.
I know
whenever he's been attacked, his stand has always taken the damage for him.
His stand's range isn't very good.
Yeah. Relatively, the stand's range has been pretty good. But he hasn't really implemented that. He's always just been a part of the stand. Okay. And if his stand was behind you, he would be behind you, making every motion with it.
Okay. That's actually pretty, that's pretty cool. So, we're looking at, like, pretty good strength. Incredible hacks, by the way. Like, incredible abilities and hacks. Really fast. And, as far as durability goes, nothing too impressive.
I can't say no. I can't say so, no.
Okay. So that's a good summary that we got for Diavolo. So, let's go ahead and talk about Krollo. I don't think you know too much about him, do you?
No, I finished his arc. I know about his abilities.
Okay. So, I mean, that's one of my favorite shows of all time, like I've told you, but,
oh, I'm right there with you.
One of the craziest things that I still I don't know too much about him, or any of his manga capabilities, but, I know, like, I had a rundown of his, abilities on my phone. I believe that, like, his attack potency was somewhere up into, like a large building area. Like it,
what is that? His attack potencies, or is that someone else's abilities?
No, like, Krollo's attack potencies were, like, into the large building area. I know that much. I mean, he wasn't nearly as physically powerful as when, Gon turned into an adult and started, like, kicking the shit out of that, puppet cat. I forgot the name already. But, he's nowhere nearly as strong as that.
No one is as strong as that. That's pretty much established in the Hunter x Hunter universe.
If I'm not mistaken, he was multi-city block level. Could be at his highest. At his lowest, I know for a fact he was like large building level. Like, he is definitely the most powerful person in the Phantom Troop.
Yeah.
And I know he fought Hisoka, I believe, in one of the chapters in the manga. I think he nearly killed him too. But and also I remember in the anime he was good enough as a fighter to take on I think it was Killua's dad and grandpa, which I mean that's pretty impressive, like, by itself.
Yeah. They were definitely sort of stalemated, but I do remember the battle had to be cut short because I think their reason was ended when he went and killed his buyers.
Yeah. As far as like that goes, speculated could be at his highest, like, multi-city block level. I mean, that's a pretty fair estimate. For speed,
oh yeah, I could buy that.
His speed, I mean, I can tell you this right now, it's nowhere near the level of Diavolo whatsoever. Is he a lightning timer per se? I couldn't tell you. He could be up to massively hypersonic.
I would go so far as to say Krollo is a Joker card, because there could be so many abilities that he's taken that we haven't even seen.
Right. Kind of like, All for One?
Absolutely.
Okay. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that we haven't seen. All we can really go on is a scale of feet here.
Yeah.
And his durability, he's probably pretty durable if he can endure, like, the power he can put out. He's probably comparable to, like, the multi-city block levels of durability. I know that.
Yeah. And he would have to be overall stronger than all the other Phantom Troops.
Yeah, he's definitely leader. Stronger than, he's got to be stronger than, what was his name, Uvogin? I don't know. when I was watching the anime, I was watching half of it on I think Crunchyroll, and another half on a site that only streamed it in English. So like the names were always getting jumbled for me. And I haven't seen it since I was in 8th grade, and I've long graduated since then, so I don't forgive me if I don't know the names. I could just tell you for a fact that I enjoyed myself when I watched it a very long time ago. So I know
I would say Uvogin or something.
Uvogin, okay. So he does in fact have a teleportation ability. He can conjure up a fish that looks like it says right here, a skeleton, and feeds on human flesh. And while the person is being fed on, they neither feel pain or lose blood, and they will stay conscious despite being mortally wounded. Once the fish disappears, the usual effects of the wounds manifest, often killing them. That's pretty scary. Like, you don't even know you're taking damage.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What I want to know is, what is the parameters for taking someone's ability?
The parameters, they have to be a Nen user. So he can't take, like a stand ability, because that's not Nen. Like, Nen is specific to the Hunter x Hunter universe, because you get to, like, mix and max, create your own superpower, whereas, like, stand powers in JoJo could be inherited or just foretold and destined.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get a stand power.
He definitely has a bunch of abilities here, but none of them are really considered like hacks on the level that Diavolo has.
Really?
Yeah, I don't, because when I was looking over it the other day because I was trying to see if Krollo actually stood much of a chance. I mean, as far as like a fair fight goes, like up close, he may definitely have like a bit of an advantage here. But like if Diavolo was to take the fight seriously, I don't see Krollo winning, actually. Like, I really don't see it winning.
True.
And here's why, because Diavolo can not only predict just anything that this guy does, he's also way faster, okay? He's got the ability to just undo a bunch of the shit that Krollo would do to him. And I mean, that alone is pretty impressive. Plus, with the ability to just barrage building level punches at this guy. I mean, I honestly feel like Diavolo takes a really solid dub here.
I think it comes down to what abilities Krollo has to disarm Diavolo.
Okay.
Because you said he has teleportation?
He does have a form of teleportation.
I think if Diavolo were to slip up, or if Krollo were to gain some kind of upper hand and learn his location, once he gets him in a one-on-one fight, and he gets so close he can't go anywhere, I think Krollo might be able to pull a dub.
Okay. It's possible. This is one of the more closer fights that I think I've been able to do. It doesn't help that
the parameters would be.
I don't know.
Outside or the inside? Do they know each other's locations?
They don't know each other's locations. Most of my battles are just hands on sight, really.
Yeah. Maybe Diavolo would pull it clutch.
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, like, if I had to choose, like, maybe out of 10 battles, which I usually tend to do, like, I typically tend to think of, like, 10 different scenarios. Out of 10, probably, like, 6 out of 10, Diavolo would probably win. So by majority, I think I could just tell you right now that Diavolo would win. Not to say that it's impossible for Krollo, but I mean, 6 out of 10. That's a pretty solid chance.
I would agree with that.
All right, so yeah, I guess we can decide by rule of majority. Yeah, Diavolo takes a win here. So let's go ahead and move on to our second one that I have planned today. I don't have a third JoJo battle planned yet, but if I do get one, I'm definitely gonna come to you for that. So we're gonna
thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and talk about Josuke versus Overhaul. Okay. So this one was one of my most requested ones, like, of all time. I know probably a few things about Josuke, not enough like you do. And I definitely know what Overhaul can do. You know what Overhaul can do as well, huh?
I'm gonna have to go with no.
Okay.
I think I've previewed his abilities myself, but I'm not familiar. Like
Overhaul's overall power is to take anything apart or restore anything. Kind of. He has to, but
give me an example.
The rule is he has to touch it with his hand. So he with the touch of his hand on somebody, he can just disassemble their body into guts and just like make them explode, or he can reassemble somebody's arm, like just reassemble their body back to how it was before they lost an arm. If he touches like the ground, he can break the ground and like cause it to ripple massive spikes, or just restore it.
How much control does he have?
He has.
If he touched a car, could he specifically do a car door, or would he have to?
Yeah, he can. He can do a car door. He can. He can do an incredible amount of things with it, albeit it's just got very poor range. I mean, the range of his effect can be huge, but he himself has to just touch it with both of his hands. And a little bit of a spoiler for anybody who hasn't caught up with that part in the anime, he loses his hands. Yeah, Shigaraki mocks him and then straight up cuts his hands off.
That sounds awesome.
It was very dark, and I loved it because Overhaul was being an abusive little shit to some girl who didn't deserve it. So,
poor girl.
Overhaul definitely got some very good destructive potential. Not like an insane amount. Like, I know he got brutally beaten by Deku, who went 100%, and this wasn't like a this is 100% Deku. Only issue is it wasn't honed or trained, and there can still be more because people with One For All break their limits all the time. So claiming that it's 100% really only means he just picked up where All Might left off.
Yeah.
So nowhere near was that Deku's full actual potential, like whatsoever. It hasn't been.
That's just the max of what we've seen.
Right.
In One For All's ability.
Yeah, and he couldn't even use it right because he was just like, with the slightest of movements, he was surprising himself. So Overhaul stood like no chance against that. But he was a pretty big threat to a bunch of pro heroes too. Like we had to get an entire army of pro heroes to come and take out him and his goons. Which by itself is pretty impressive because some of these pro heroes are like really insane. Like really insanely powerful.
Oh, yeah.
So as far as like
have you seen number one genist? Wow.
Okay, not him. He loses a lot. We don't know how he became like a pro hero. He's just he's retarded. I don't like him.
Clearly.
So
I think he could do good against normal people. He'll just string them up without hurting them.
Yeah, like that's pretty cool, I guess, if you're retarded, if you really like that. But yeah, for about like his destructive potential, it wasn't too much. It was like up to city block level, not multi-city block. It was probably just up to city block level. He absorbed somebody. Like, I don't know if that was... It was really, really weird. Like, I guess he just absorbed somebody, and I don't know how. It just made him better. But only at, like, his highest. He wasn't anything past city block level. He was getting beat to shit by 100% Deku, who was speculated to be around, like, town level. So he's not surpassing town level anytime soon. We probably just speculate he's about city block level.
With his... someone?
Huh?
He absorbed someone?
Yeah, and I don't know how.
Maybe he, like, took his muscle cells and put them into his own muscle cells?
Yeah, something of the such. Could he... Now, here's an interesting question. Could he absorb a stand? No. I don't think he could.
Stands interact with the real world, but the real world can't interact with the stand.
Yeah, which is a pretty big disadvantage from a boy Overhaul. A lot of people think that he stands a chance, though. I'm on the side where I don't think he can. What's Josuke's range here?
Josuke has... he described himself as a 2 to 3 meter range.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to say that's pretty good at keeping your distance.
Okay. So this is Diamond is Unbreakable JoJo, huh?
Yes, this is.
Okay. So if I was to take a look at where he would be, he's also in like the building level. I mean, obviously not as destructive. Again, with these characters, it's mostly hacks. He's definitely still in the massively faster than light category. So to be able to react to anything Overhaul can do is just a no-brainer here. I think he can react to anything, and definitely if there was range brought into this, I don't think that matters here because, like, for example, if Overhaul was to, like, you know, destroy the ground or like use his quirk on the ground, which like creates the chasm and the spikes and such, not only can Josuke just easily react to this. If he touches the effects of that quirk, it's over. Like, he can just restore it to how he sees fit.
Yeah.
Plus,
his biggest weakness would have to be once he's touched, it's over.
Yeah.
Because he can never repair himself.
Because like people like Eri were able to undo the effect of Overhaul. People like that were able to just negate Overhaul's power. So to assume that he can just rewind anything Overhaul does is not far out. In fact, he could rewind his body to before he got his quirk, making him essentially powerless if he's able to do that. So if they were to like do anything up close, he could just restore Overhaul's body to before the effects of his quirk power.
No. Maybe. No. I'd have to say no. He would have to restore his entire thing to before he had a quirk. When would that be? A child?
Yeah.
He would essentially be rewinding him through time. There have been moments where he's been able to fuse people with ground and rocks. And a book at one point. So he could, like, I would say he would definitely be able to quote unquote fix his hand, like what Shigaraki did, and put it in a state where
obviously
it can no longer be used.
Well, yeah, obviously, he's gonna have his hands for the battle.
Well, no, what I mean is during the battle, if at any point he made contact with the hands, he could probably, like turn it into a nub.
Okay.
Because if it's like, I'm assuming it's in his fingertip.
It's like unspecified, but yeah, like in like the hand area. It has to be the hand.
Yeah. He definitely has the strength to cut off a hand.
Okay.
So
I know for a fact that reactionary some fucking how he's like really good at reaction speeds, and it's really weird. I mean, like one of the most craziest and unpredictable heroes, I think it was Lemillion. Like, he was just like zipping around crazy with this dude. He was still able to get like some good reaction in.
Like human level reaction or like god level reaction?
Not god level, but like compared to a guy, it's like how? Like reactionary wise, this dude was able to pull off some really weird reactionary feats that I was just kind of turned off by, because I was like, no. I mean, I guess
like,
so.
If you want to have a god level ability, that's fine. But if you want to have god level athleticism,
he had like hypersonic. He had hypersonic reactions. Like 8% Deku was somehow unable to read this dude's movements, which I'm just like, how? I don't know how old he is. He's like, I don't know, somewhere in like his 20s maybe. I don't know how. He was kind of like a throwaway villain that people really just loved to dick ride. But, you know, that being put aside, I think if Josuke and Overhaul were to fight, I just know, I can tell you this for a fact, that the hacks and effects of a stand power really far surpass the hacks and effects of a quirk.
Yeah.
They're multi-plane. Like, they operate on multiple planes of reality. They're extremely powerful. They can control like the fundamental effects of like reality and space and time.
Good. You can't see them. That's one of their biggest advantages.
That is one of the biggest advantage, that you can't see the stand unless you are a stand user yourself. Like, assuming
they have a range of like 70 meters that some of them have.
Yeah, which is really.
And they're essentially snipers in an open battlefield. Oh yeah.
So this being said, I feel like so he can definitely take an immense amount. Josuke, I should say, can take an immense amount of punishment. Not like he would receive it. Like I said, like his reactionary and combat speeds are massively faster than light. Nothing Overhaul has seen or dealt with before. I know some people like to speculate that All Might in his prime years was like faster than light. I haven't taken a look at that. I know All Might was like super crazy fast and strong in his prime years. Do I doubt it? No. I don't doubt All Might was at one point faster than light. He's definitely not now. Like in his teacher years.
No, I can't say Josuke is faster than light. He's definitely proven to be faster than a bullet, for what's that worth.
Okay.
For what that's worth.
It's mostly scaling. We're mostly just scaling him to Star Platinum.
Oh yeah.
If we were to scale him to Star Platinum, who is explicitly stated to be faster than light, then yeah, I would actually go ahead and say that his stand alone is like definitely on light speed bars, and most of the time our characters have similar reaction speeds to their stands.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, I'm assuming when you're scaling him to Star Platinum, are you using the 10-minute fight with him v. Jotaro when he came to Morio?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's kind of a touchy subject, because a lot of people consider that Star Platinum to be a weaker Star Platinum. Like,
I know
from stopping time for like 9 seconds or whatever it was to like 2 to 3.
Uh-huh. I know do other people just seem to think he wasn't trying?
By Josuke's sudden attack.
Uh-huh.
It was a bad situation for Star Platinum at the time.
Okay. I mean, either way, I can definitely tell you he has a speed advantage. He definitely has like a really good speed advantage here.
For sure. I'm not doubting that.
And furthermore, I know destruction isn't really a stand specialty. Like I said, it's mostly the hacks and abilities. I feel like his hacks and abilities really just negate the power of Overhaul.
Yeah.
Like, if he gets a hold of the destruction that Overhaul is doing, without a doubt, I think like he could just undo it. Because he's certainly faster. He could undo it before it gets out of hand.
Oh yeah.
And
his biggest concern would only be to never be touched.
Right.
Then he'd be done for.
Yeah. So if I had to like give like a blank out of 10 for who would be a winner, I'm gonna go with Josuke. I'm gonna say Josuke is a winner, 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Like a Josuke would be an 8 out of 10 winner. What do you think?
Yeah. I'd almost push it to 9.
Okay.
If it just wasn't for the fact that I know Josuke himself isn't the greatest stand user, but he definitely has the capabilities to do it 8 out of 10 times.
Okay. So that being said, I feel like we can come to a conclusion that if they were to fight, the majority winner would be Josuke.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess we got a winner. Josuke wins. So that's all I have planned for today. But like I said, if I get more JoJo battles that I'm going to be doing here on Kerb's Corner, I'm definitely coming to you.
Thank you.
So yeah.
I'm truly honored.
It's alright. So yeah, this was our JoJo episode. I know I've been getting a lot of requests to do JoJo, so I hope you guys actually really liked the efforts that we went through to get this battle out to you. I know I'm not too well informed on JoJo, which is why I really like to, when I do these Kerb's Corner episodes, I have people in who I know who can help me, so I don't have to just do hours of research and potentially spoil a show that I might want to watch later on. So I definitely thank you, Luke. So we're just gonna cut this battle off. Thank you all so much for watching this far. Thank you, Luke, for coming in and helping me. Everybody, I really hope you appreciate Luke's efforts here, and I hope you appreciate mine here. And I guess that's it. Luke, say bye to everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Adios.